I had just turned 17 and got a job as a pizza delivery driver. I thought it would be simple, easy money, and maybe even a little fun. Most nights were dull, repeating the same streets, same houses, same faces. But weekends were different. People stayed inside during storms, and delivery orders poured in. One Saturday, a violent storm hit just as I was finishing my shift. The rain pounded the streets, wind whipped against my car, and somewhere deep down, I felt a thrill in the chaos. More orders kept coming, and tips were better than usual. I thought I knew this town like the back of my hand. That night, I realized I did not. The GPS led me to a street I had never seen before, deep in a wooded neighborhood. Houses were far back from the road, hidden behind towering trees. I drove down the long driveway, water spraying beneath my tires, headlights barely cutting through the dark. The house was massive and old, yet completely dark. No porch light, no windows glowing. As I got out of the car and reached for the pizza box, I saw movement behind one of the upstairs curtains. Someone was watching me. I shrugged it off at first. I had seen people peek through windows before, but then I noticed something else. Another pizza box sat on the porch, wet, weathered, from another local pizzeria I had barely heard of. It had been sitting there for a while. There were no cars anywhere. Whoever had left it had done so deliberately. My stomach turned. I knocked on the door. Silence. I knocked again. Nothing. I called the number on the order and a phone inside started ringing. I could hear it, faint, just behind the door. Someone was home. I knew it. Finally, a voice called out, rough, strained, almost unnatural. The door's broken. Bring it around to the side. The rain poured down harder. I stepped back, feeling a chill crawl up my spine. The side of the house was worse. No overhang, no working light. The door old, covered in dirt and cobwebs. Something about the way it looked, abandoned. My gut screamed at me, warning me to run. But curiosity and obligation kept me moving forward. I walked through the rain, the pizza box heavy in my hands. Every shadow seemed alive. Every tree branch looked like it was reaching for me. I could feel eyes on me from the darkness. I had the sense that something, or someone, was just beyond the reach of the dim light, watching. The feeling grew unbearable. My heart hammered, my hands trembled. I dropped the pizza box and ran. I sprinted to my car, slammed the door, locked it, and drove away. My headlights cut through the sheets of rain, but I couldn't shake the feeling of being followed. I never found out who had been in that house. Perhaps it was a prank, perhaps something more sinister. All I knew was that the plan had not been about the pizza. They had been waiting for me, and I had barely escaped. Even now, whenever I think of that dark house, I can feel that voice whispering, rough and cold, calling me to the side. I later worked as a park ranger in a large isolated wilderness area. Nights were long, dark, and mostly silent. I had gotten used to the wind, the rain, the rustling of unseen animals, even the eerie calls of the forest at night. But nothing could have prepared me for what happened one stormy night. I had spent the afternoon at a remote campground, hiking, cleaning, and making sure everything was safe. Darkness fell quickly, the storm moving in as I made my way back to the lodge. The wind whistled through the trees, rain soaking me despite my coat. I was alone, the only ranger in the area. Hours passed as I warmed myself with coffee, taking notes, listening to the storm. Then, a voice came over the radio. Another ranger, hesitant, asked if I had seen anyone at the campground. I hadn't. Then he told me there had been an SOS signal from a satellite device on the trail I had just been on. No follow-up messages, no other rangers nearby. I was the closest, which meant I had to investigate. I grabbed my flashlight, raincoat, and radio and set out. The forest was almost impassable. Mud sucked at my boots. Branches scratched at my face. Rain blinded me. Shadows flickered between the trees, and then, in the dim light, I saw him. A man, soaked, wild-eyed, hair plastered to his face, standing 10 feet off the trail. No backpack, no gear, nothing, just standing, watching. I identified myself as a ranger, but he didn't respond. Then, without warning, he ran deeper into the storm-soaked forest. Another SOS ping, from the exact direction he had gone. I pressed forward, tense, unsure whether to call for backup or follow him alone. My flashlight caught the faint orange glow of the satellite device on the ground. He hadn't picked it up. Why? Footsteps came from the side, fast, heavy, deliberate. He was charging at me, not to flee, not to beg, but to attack. Hollow eyes, lifeless, unnatural. I ran. Mud and roots tore at my boots. Branches whipped my face. The forest seemed alive, shifting and closing around me. Every sound behind me made my blood freeze. I reached the lodge eventually, locked myself inside, shaking, soaked, terrified. The device lay exactly where I had seen it. The man was gone. No trace, no explanation. Someone had used a distress signal, a call for help, as bait, and they had nearly succeeded in luring me into the dark forest alone. That night haunted me for years, and even now, I can't think of the forest after a storm without imagining those hollow, lifeless eyes watching from the trees.